How you doing, everyone? And welcome to this episode of the Isaac Hayes Show, where we talk about life, we talk about liberty, and we talk about the pursuit of happiness, and we tell you the truth and expose the lies. Ladies and gentlemen, I've already told you this. I believe that's what God has called me to do, and that I believe that is spiritually and politically. And a while back, I had to redefine myself. I had to go ahead and I had to search in my heart and say, Lord, show me what to do. And I believe he gave me a platform, and he showed me which way to go. And I am excited. I am blessed to be back here in the studio. If you saw over the weekend, I did a few Rumble Studio Lives, and it was all on YouTube and on Facebook at one point. Try some stuff out this weekend. And I was at the MAGA Fest Leadership Summit in Kinder, Louisiana. Had a good time. I spoke that Saturday night. I felt God gave me something. And I'm going to be honest with you. I thought at first that, man, I missed the mark. But I had a lot of people come up to me and say, look, good preaching. So I was like, hey, a speech that turned into a preaching. And I'm a sermon. And I'm a preacher. I tell people I'm a Cajun preacher. Now, a lot of people notice my accent, and they ask where I was from. I said, well, from Louisiana. Except Mr. Bernard, Clayston Bernard, his accent was a little bit more noticeable than mine. But Clayston Bernard, a good friend of mine, I have interviews lined up. I have interviews that I recorded at the MAGA Fest, and they will be dropping later on in the week. I have to work on a few of them. But we had fun. I met some great people, people from American Patriots Relief, from Embassy for Warriors, and William Walz was a great host at the event. They had a panel with some of our state reps and senators, and we met a few of them. Kathy Emmons, I believe her name is, for being a state rep. We're going to have her on. And we have some people that are running for congressional seats that I got to meet. We already met Elbert Guillory. Elbert Guillory will be on the show possibly later on in the week. I was trying to get his interview. But Elbert is so busy right now with running for Congress in the 6th District of Louisiana. So we're going to go ahead and have him on. We already set it up. We're trying to get it confirmed. And, I know probably Kelby listens to the show. Kelby got him lined up for his new segment on his show. So we're trying not to burst Kelby's thunder. So go check out Kelby and Joe's show on Spotify, Apple, Speaker, and all them good places. All right, we had a lot going on this weekend as well, though. I was briefly telling people about the rally that was going on in Butler, Pennsylvania. And I want to start off our show with that. Over the weekend, Donald Trump went ahead and returned to the site of his first assassination attempt. As you know, a couple of months ago, and I don't have the date right offhand, maybe it'll be in this article right here. I got an article from Daily Wire. It says, massive crowds await Trump return to Pennsylvania rally site. Donald Trump, let's see, it was July 13th. And it was July 13th of 2024. A 20-year-old would-be assassin tried to take out the the former president of the United States of America. And it was a horrible day. It was a Saturday. I remember where I was at. There's a few times in my life I remember where I was sitting at a certain time, in a certain place when an event happened. And I didn't even see this live. A lot of people listen to me and think that I'm a mega MAGA person. Like every time Trump's on the TV, I turn it on and I'm like, oh, it's Donald Trump and I have to hear our leader. I'm not like that. Okay. Every time I'll read about rallies, and if something interesting happens, I will report it here. But I don't turn on the TV every time Donald Trump is on TV or he's on Rumble or whatever. I go ahead and I watch it. If I'm passing through, I'll hear a few things. I know what Trump stands for, so I don't watch every single rally that comes on the TV. But that day, like I said, I didn't even see this live. I was playing a video game. Yes, all you people out there that, oh, man, you're a 32-year-old and you still play video games? Yeah, I'll play college football. I'll play Madden 25. I'll bust up Construction Simulator, I'll play dirt bike games. I'm playing right now. I bought an Xbox, and I'm playing Rise, the Son of Rome. It's not historically accurate, but I love Roman games. I love games like that. I love games with good storyline. It's like I'm watching a movie and I'm living a movie. But I was playing, I think it was Construction Simulator. I was building something on the game, and one of my good friends from church gave me a call. And he's like, bruh, you see what happened? I'm like, what happened? And he's like, President Trump just got shot. And I'm like, wait, what? And my wife was like, what's going on? I turned on the TV. I turned off the game. I turned on the TV, and I was seeing the news reports. And right after that, I came here to BGS Media, turned on the live stream cameras, and we went live. And we talked about it. We was on TikTok and all this stuff. But yeah, on July 13th, July 13th, Donald Trump had a would-be assassin take a shot at him from 130 yards, and we still don't know what's going on yet. Dan Bongino is doing a real good job. I wouldn't even know where to start, but Dan Bongino has been doing a good job. If you want to hear more about that, go listen to the Dan Bongino show after this show, of course. I know at the time that we release this episode, it is 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's when I listen. That's when in Central Standard Time, that's when Dan Bongino podcast was released. You can always go back and listen to that, but listen to me after Dr. Michael Schwartz and after Jeff Ahorn. Jeff Ahorn is early in the morning, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Dr. Mike is 9 Central Standard Time. I'm at 10 o'clock. I don't want to mess up them guys. That's why I didn't pick the 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock hour. Anyway, going back to that, though, go listen to Dan Bongino if you want to know about this, though, because he's still on top of this with Secret Service failures and how they should protect Donald Trump. He makes some good assessments, and he has made some disturbing predictions, and we're hoping that they don't come true. I hope that's one that Dan Bongino's wrong on. Anyway, but it was Butler, Pennsylvania, and this all happened. And, look, unfortunately, one male died. I'm trying to find the name to make sure. Yes, it was Gary Corperton. I hope I'm saying his name right. Forgive me if I'm not. Unfortunately, he lost his life at that rally in Butler on July 13th. And there was 2 other victims, David Dutch and James Copperhover. They were the ones that they were hospitalized. They were hit by stray bullets. And ladies and gentlemen, it was a horrible day. But a sign of triumph, a sign of victory. A sign that Donald Trump was coming back. And again, he announced he was going back to Butler, Pennsylvania. This is coming from the Daily Wire. He started the rally by saying, as I was saying, and he began the rally where he left off with the chart. And the chart that was behind him, Daily Wire did a real good article on it. Former President Donald Trump began his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania on Saturday, introducing the same chart that was displayed when an assassin abruptly ended Trump's last Butler rally nearly 3 months ago. Trump returned to Butler after being shot in the ear by an assassin on July 13th rally. The assassin's attempt on the former president failed, but resulted in the death of one rally-goer, Corey Corperton. Like I said, I hope I'm saying his name right. Corporator. I hope I'm saying the name right. And several others were wounded. Trump went ahead and said, a very big thank you to Pennsylvania. We love Pennsylvania. As I was saying, Trump began the audience roar in approval as Trump gestured to a giant chart next to the stage. I love that chart. I love that graph, Trump said. So Trump returned, and look, big rally. J.D. Vance was there. Elon Musk was there. Elon Musk was trying to bring up the crowds. And when this happened, I didn't know he was going to Butler on Saturday. Like I said, I was at MegaFest, and we were getting ready for this rally in Kinder, Louisiana, where we had great speakers lined up. We had a good time, and we met some real interesting people. And when I heard that he went back to Butler, my first thought was, this is a sign that no matter what we go through as a nation, we will still always come up and be victorious. This is accomplishment for Donald Trump. Okay, Donald Trump, last time he was there, people normally don't return to a site that they were in danger with. But Donald Trump went ahead and took that stand, and he said, look, I'm going to go back to Butler for the people. And people were happy. And this is why I want to bring up too the massive crowds. I brought it up on the story before that Daily Wire reported on these massive crowds. There were thousands sitting in Butler, Pennsylvania, waiting for the former president. And it was a bigger crowd than it was last time. I was hearing Fox News was brought out some of the crowd goers, and they were like, look, we're glad he's back. We're glad he's back. We love Donald Trump. We want Donald Trump to be president. I don't know how many people were there, but Kate Silverton, 7 hours ahead of Trump, when Trump is scheduled to speak. This is the line of his rally, Butler, Pennsylvania, at the same venue where the assassin attempt in July took place. And if you watch the video, there are thousands there, thousands. And we don't know how much people are there. The official numbers haven't come out, but thousands of people coming. And this shows how like he is in Pennsylvania. Now, does this show that Pennsylvania will turn red? No, it does not. But this weekend, I did a TikTok live at the MAGA event. It was separate from the second live stream, and I wanted to interact with people. I love interacting with especially TikTok live, where we can discuss and talk about things. And I love hearing the other side. And one young guy came up on the live stream, and he was from Pennsylvania. And I asked him, look, how's the atmosphere there? You know, do you see more Trump stuff? And he was like, yes. Now, he said there's a lot of people that are against Trump, but he feels that Pennsylvania has a good shot. And we've seen this in the poll numbers. I go more by state polls, because the Electoral College is how we determine who wins the presidency of the United States, not by popular vote. And I'm seeing this. I'm seeing that Trump is gaining in Pennsylvania. I think Pennsylvania is the best shot for Donald Trump to win this presidential election. Again, though, they're already saying, hey, it might take days for us to know who the president is, and that scares me. That scares me. Without getting into many details, that scares me. And I think we need to pray, we need to push for Pennsylvania, but for him to go back to Butler and to do this rally. And yes, look, Donald Trump's scared. Donald Trump said he's afraid for his family. He's afraid for his life. There have already been 2 assassination attempts on Donald Trump's life. This man, I wouldn't have been surprised if he said, look, I quit. But he didn't. And he said it. He's fighting for the American people. And I believe that. And look, I've said this on my speech the other night. Donald Trump was the one that his platform is closer to biblical principles. And that is how a nation is blessed, if we honor God and honor his word. And yes, like I said, I don't think Donald Trump's a Christian, but at the same time, he is pushing biblical principles. A lot of Christians' issues with him is in his personal life. But in his political stance and his policies is closer to the word of God than Kamala Harris is. And like I said, I was amazed. He went back to Pennsylvania. They had tons of people there. This was a moment in me personally. I think this was a triumph moment for Trump. They tried to take him out there, but guess what? He is still standing. And I hope he gets 4 years to be president of the United States. Was he my first choice? No. But at the same time, I'm glad that he survived the assassin's bullet, and he is rising up. I think he's getting more popular. And we're going to talk about Kamala later on, and I think this is why that I have a feeling why the poll numbers are going down, or I hope Americans are more aware of what's going on than just people see this. Donald Trump energizes people. He don't go ahead and get stuck when the teleprompter's broken. This happened this week, and I don't have this in my notes, but I laughed. I think it was Friday. Kamala Harris is giving a speech, and she's saying, 32 days! We have a responsibility, 32 days in the election. And she turns, she's like, oh, crap, the teleprompter's broken. And she just frozen. And she goes, 32 days. 32 days. This woman can't think on the fly, but Donald Trump can. If a teleprompter breaks, we're not worried about Donald Trump saying something that he's going to continue going on. And look, I'm just seeing it. I think people are starting to see that. And we're going to talk more about Kamala in a little while, but I think Donald Trump going back to Pennsylvania, Butler, Pennsylvania, is a good sign. I don't know. It's just a sign to me. It's just he has overcome the assassin's bullet. He has overcome a lot of stuff. And if you put this in a symbol, I think this is a symbol of unity. Similarly, that's how I'm hoping I'm saying it right. Like I said, I'm not the greatest speaker. I don't have a big vocabulary library in this small brain of mine. But I think this was a sign of unity. This was a sign of strength. You can like I said, you can compare this to everything else he has gone through. The indictments, the censorship, the pushback, the forsaking of his party, people forsaking him. And he look, I hope we see on November 5th when me and Kelby come in this studio. Well, I'm gonna be in the studio. Kelby's probably gonna be at his studio, at it. When we're gonna come together. I hope we announce, hey, it's Donald Trump. That Donald Trump has won the presidency of the United States. And I think that would be the cherry on top. Just like this. He overcame the bullet. And now he went back to Butler, Pennsylvania saying, look, they didn't stop me. And after all that he's gone through, to see that, I think I could see that as a sign of unity. I know the Democrats would criticize him and say all kind of stuff, but all right, let's move on. Israel is still under attack. I haven't heard any news of retaliation yet. I know Israel has said they will retaliate, and this is coming on the heels of the latest invasion and attacks of Iran. Iran went ahead and shot 200 ballistic missiles into Israel, and thank goodness for the Iron Dome of Israel, because it would have been a lot worse than what it was. And Israel stopped majority of the rockets. The ones they didn't stop did not do no critical damage. And Israel has said, look, we're gonna retaliate. Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, said Iran did not know what they were doing. And I think they poked the bear for the last time. And we reported this, that Biden has said, look, we don't want to go ahead. We think they shouldn't go after their nuclear plants. We shouldn't go after their infrastructures or anything like this. And he did it again. This happened, I believe, at a press briefing. President Joe Biden and let me read the article from the Daily Wire. Biden-Harris administration urges Israel to go soft against Iran. Correct. I said Iran. Biden and Harris administration is urging Israel to not retaliate too hard against Iran after the Islamic regime fired nearly 200 ballistic missiles into Israel on last Tuesday, forcing millions of people to run to bomb shelters. Immediately after the attack, Biden-Harris National Security Advisor Jack Silva claimed that there would be several consequences for this attack, and we will work with Israel to make that the case. In the days since, the administration has sought to hold Israel back in response. When asked by reporters on Wednesday if he supported Israel striking Iran's nuclear facilities, Biden said the answer is no. We talked about this on Friday a little bit, but Biden said on Friday, now this was after the episode released and recorded, that he does not support Israel striking Iran's oil facilities, which brought the regime tons of billions of dollars, and that it has used to fund its terrorist proxy group throughout the region. If I were in Israel's shoes, I'll be thinking about other alternatives than striking oil fields, Biden said. The top U.S. Department official speaking on the conditions of embassy immensity told CNN on Friday that they had no guarantees from Israel that it would not attack Iran's nuclear facility. Israel may decide to target Israel's nuclear facility since the Islamic regime increasingly feels backed into a corner after Israel has declimed two of the top terrorist proxy groups, Hezbollah and Hamas. So on Friday, this is where I'm focusing on. Biden said that he is not supporting Israel attacking Iran's oil facility. Why? Again, the same question I asked the other day on when we were talking last Friday when we talked about this, how he don't want them to attack their nuclear plants. Why? Now, ladies and gentlemen, this raises questions. Is the Biden-Harris administration, and I'm going to quote it just like that, the Biden-Harris administration, are they supporting Israel or not? It don't sound like it. It don't sound like it. It sounds like they are weak. It sounds like this administration don't want to back Israel whatsoever. This is not, look, you're not showing good faith. You're telling them, hey, there will be consequences for them attacking you. But right after that statement, you're telling them not to push not to give them the consequence. If Israel would take out Iran's nuclear and oil field, it would cripple the Iran agenda to put Israel out. You're telling me, as the president of the United States, you're not supporting Israel retaliating when 200 missiles were shot in your facility. I didn't add this story. I was planning on talking about it later on, but I think it should be talked about now. If you're thinking, well, Isaac, that's Biden, and that might not be Harris's a stance. Well, analysts react to Biden's remarks about Harris literally trying to destroy her campaign. President Joe Biden's remarks about Vice President Kamala Harris and his decision to upstage his political rally on Friday set the internet ablaze and led many pundits to question whether he was trying to sabotage her chances. Biden unexpectedly took the podium at the White House press briefing on Friday at the exact time that Harris took the stage for her rally in Detroit, Michigan. CNN even noticed that it was planning to switch coverage to Harris' rally when Biden walked into the press briefing in a move that was clearly overshadowing Harris, the network said. During the press briefing, Biden also destroyed any notion that Harris has not been on board with any decisions that he has made as president, a remark that could damage her politically as she looks to distance herself from his disastrous record. I'm in constant contact with her, Biden said. We're singing from the same song sheet. She helps pass all the laws that are being implied now. Listen to Biden's quotes. She was a major player in everything we've done, including passing legislation which we were told we could never pass. He continued, adding that her staff and his staff are interlocked on everything. This is what Biden said Friday when he said, hey, I don't think Israel should be going after their oil fields. He don't believe they should be going after their nuclear plants. But Harris is running around saying we need to protect Israel, but she's on the same page. So when I say the Harris Biden administration, I am saying that because it is just not Biden that's pushing this. It is Kamala Harris, and people want to vote for her in November 5th. If you're a Jewish person, if you stand for Israel and you vote for Kamala Harris, you are a hypocrite because they don't want to protect or defend Israel. I think that's Biden that's saying that. He said it. She is online with me. We're singing from the same song sheet. We're on the same stage. We believe the same way. Guess what? If you think that Kamala Harris is going to protect Israel from Iran, you are wrong, my friend, and you need to get your facts straight. He wants to go soft on Iran. No, Israel should not go soft on Iran. And we need to keep our promise. When we say, hey, they're gonna have consequences, we need to go ahead and put more sanctions on Iran. Not giving them an Iranian deal that's gonna go ahead and fund them for them to make a nuclear weapon to come against us or Israel. And I'm clipping my microphone because I am passionate about this topic. Biden does not support Israel. Actions speak louder than words, my friends. Actions speak louder than words. When a man says we're going to go ahead and protect Israel and we're going to go ahead and defend her, but then go and say on the other side of his mouth that he wants them to go soft against Iran, that is not Israel's friend. That's a hypocrite, and he needs to be put out of the White House. And he will be. January 20th of 2025, he will be no longer in the White House. But if you go ahead and elect Kamala Harris, the same old crap is going to keep on going. And if you're a Christian, I heard a great speech from Mr. Bernard. I'm going to say it like that. Clayston Bernard. He ran for a political office here in Louisiana. He's from Jamaica. And he made some points about the church. The Bible says we should pray for the peace of Israel. We should go ahead and help Israel any way possible. And if you're a Christian, vote for the man that's going to stand with Israel, and that's Donald Trump. Not for the woman that wants to go ahead and go soft on Israel. My goodness. Go for Trump. You know what Trump said about this issue that's going on in Israel right now? Listen here, and this came out on October 5th of 2024. Trump urges Israel to hit Iran's nuclear facilities. Former President Donald Trump encouraged Israel on Friday to hit Iran's nuclear facilities as it's prepared to retaliate after Iran fired nearly 200 ballistic missiles into the country at the start of the month. Trump made the remarks during a question and answer session with voters in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Trump had been touring the southeastern Union states in recent days to survey the damage from Hurricane Helene and talk with voters about what they need to recover. This is a quote from Trump. I listened to Biden yesterday. They asked him, what do you think about Iran? Would you hit Iran? And he goes, as long as they don't hit the nuclear stuff. Trump said, that's the thing you want to hit. I think he got that one wrong. Isn't that the one you're supposed to hit? Trump continued. It's the biggest risk we have, nuclear weapons. He said that Israel should focus on hitting Iran's nuclear facilities first and worried about the potential targets later. That is a leader. That's a leader that knows where the threat is. That's a leader that has a backbone. Not saying go soft on the world's leader of terror. And if I was Benjamin Netanyahu, I would listen to Donald Trump before I listen to Joe Biden. But people are still going to go ahead and say, hell, Kamala's the person. Kamala's the person to go ahead and take us into the new millennium, to utopia. No, she's not. There's a reason. And see, they don't like to boast about this. But Iran wants Kamala to win. Why? Russia wants Kamala to win. Why? Ukraine wants Kamala to win. Why? Because they can go and get whatever they want from her. We need a leader with a backbone. We need a leader that cares about the American citizens. And this is going to lead right into my next segue. Fox News reported earlier today And I'm recording this on Sunday. It is going out live at 10 o'clock on Monday. I'll be making an episode Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Fox News reports Harris slammed for pledging millions to Lebanon as North Carolina suffers. We just went through talking about how Donald Trump is a leader. Donald Trump has a backbone. Donald Trump wants to do things to protect the American citizens and the people. And I just said, why Iran? Why Ukraine? Why Russia wants Harris? Because she does stupid stuff like this. Users on social media took aim at Vice President Kamala Harris after Democrat nominee took to X to pledge millions of dollars in aid for Lebanon. At the same time, residents of North Carolina struggled to recover from Hurricane Helene. This has to be fake. Even Kamala Harris, the gold standard of stupid, isn't stupid enough to post this, actor James Woods said on X Saturday. Certainly not while North Carolinians are pulling the bodies of their neighbors from the wreckage. It's simply inconceivable. The post comes in response of Harris pledging Saturday to spend $157 million of additional assistance to Lebanon, which she argued is facing an incredible humanitarian society. Wait, what? What? I am concerned about the security of the well-being of civilians suffering in Lebanon, and I will continue working to help meet the needs of all civilians there, the vice president said, adding that the money would go to essential needs, including food, shelter, water, protection, and the sanctity to help those who have been displaced by the recent conflict. This woman cannot be serious. Lebanon is harboring Hezbollah. They're shooting rockets into Israel, and she's worried about the people in Lebanon. What about the people in North Carolina? I'm going to read her quote again, and listen to me. Listen to me carefully. The money would go to essential needs, including food, shelter, water, and protection, and sanctity or sanitarian. Like to clean yourself. Like I said, I can't speak. I'm especially when I'm hot like this. To help those who have been displaced by the recent conflict. What about the recent storm? People in North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, they need food. They need shelter. They need water. And they need protection. But they're not getting it from FEMA. They're not getting it from the federal government. This woman cannot be serious. More worried about the people in Lebanon when she has her own citizens in North Carolina that are struggling. This is another point I want to bring out. Mayorkas, Department of Homeland Security Secretary, came out the other day, and Karine Jean-Pierre tried to say, no, he never said that. Said that FEMA doesn't have money for the rest of the hurricane season. And Harris and Biden are saying, look, we're trying to get aid to you. We just don't have the money. But they have the money to send to Lebanon. Exactly $157 million. My good, if you are a citizen of the United States and you're listening under the sound of my voice, you're seeing I'm getting red in the neck. I see on the monitor. You cannot think that this is real. $157 million they found. They want to send to Lebanon while we have people in our own country that need water and food and shelter and protection. And they're not getting it. Come on, America. How can you not? Man, how can you not see that they don't care about you, the American citizen? They care about everyone else. They care about Ukraine. They care about Lebanon. They care about our enemies, but they don't care about the people that want to put them in office. Makes me sick. Come on, people. Open your eyes, America. Again, this is what I say. I cannot see how. I hope America is waking up. My goodness. I'm sorry that I'm raising my voice. I'm sorry. It's just, I cannot understand. These people are telling us there's no more money to send to North Carolina, but there's money to send to Lebanon and to Ukraine? And then go on X and boast about it? Hypocrisy at its finest. Man. This ticks me off. I know I'm making Scott Ford's day because Scott Ford likes Angry Isaac. And I'm not trying to be angry. You know what gets me? And a lot of people say, oh, you sound triggered. You sound like you're upset. No, I don't like liars. And I don't like politicians putting us second. Man, I can't get off of that. They tell us last week there's no more money in FEMA. But all of a sudden, they have money for Lebanon? The enemy of our friend? They do this in Gaza. Oh, poor Gaza. Poor people in Gaza. Poor Palestinians. These people are harboring the terrorists. They put the terrorists in leadership. And in their fate, they hate Israel. But America's going to go ahead and fund them. This is wrong. And it needs to be exposed. Wake up, America. Wake up. All right, moving on. Whew. I should take a break after this, my friends. My mouth is dry. My head is pounding. I got the stupidity of Harris. And this is the thing. I'll just think about it before I get to my next story. Back in the day, politicians would do things to get them elected. Then they would do it. Then they would do totally opposite after. They have the gall to go ahead and do it right in front of you. And people that are on the left and people that are ignorant and don't pay attention to this stuff, they're gonna go ahead and vote for her anyway. Y'all want if you're voting for Harris, please comment and tell me why you want 4 more years of this stupidity. Moving on. Tim Walz was in the news Sunday, and he did something that I was very surprised by. He appeared on Fox News. Now, granted to Tim Walz, at least he did something his running mate never does. Appear on the opposite side of the aisle. This week, she's appearing tonight on 60 Minutes, and will Donald Trump show up? They're proud to say that Harris is showing up, but Donald Trump is not. Donald Trump ain't showing up. Donald Trump said he's not going to go he's not being part of the 60 Minutes. And of course, Harris is going to go ahead and get the softball questions she's always getting. You know, when real questions arise, like, hey, how are you going to bring down the cost of living? I grew up in a middle-class family. I know what you're going through. What's the solution? I don't know. Sound like Mike Todd from I don't know. But he did this interview on, like I said, credit to him. He went on Fox News. But it wasn't a walk in the park. He had tough questions. It was Fox News on Sunday. I'm trying to see. Shannon Bream did the interview. And Bream noted that Minnesota In Minnesota, Walz signed a bill into law allowing abortion up until the moment of birth with no restrictions. Remember, this I think this came up in the debate. Nobody pushed him on it, but guess what? Fox News did. Walz deflected by claiming that he and Vice President Harris just wants to restore Roe v. Wade. You notice when they look, Fox News does a good job at it. Newsmax does a good job exposing the radical beliefs that the Democrats have on abortion. And when you go ahead and force the issue with them, they go back. Oh, all we want to do is restore Roe v. Wade. No, you don't. Walz tried to get around this. We're not pro-abortion. We're pro-freedom. No, you're not. You're pro-abortion. Because why the heck does every time an abortion bill comes up, it's always to when the baby's coming out of the womb. Even in some cases when the baby's out of the womb. Walz signed this legislation. He signed it up to that, and he is trying to deflect by saying, oh, we just want Roe v. Wade back. Roe v. Wade even had some limits on abortion. He also falsely claimed that it has been debunked that the law he signed permits unrestricted abortion, and Shannon Bream did a good job at showing him, no, this is in your bill. What you sign is there's not a single limit through 9 months of pregnancy. Bream pushed back. Roe had a trimester framework that did not have limits to the pregnancy. The Minnesota law does not have that. Roe v. Wade did have limits to the pregnancy. The Minnesota law does not have that. Walz completely ignored what Bream said and then falsely claimed that Donald Trump was asking for a nationwide ban. And this ignorant people will believe that Donald Trump wanted to put a national ban. He did not. He says, look, we brought it to the states and we done our job. J.D. Vance stands on the same principle. And on this point, too, it's funny how the Democrats are calling for Roe v. Wade to be restored nationwide, and Congress should vote to go ahead and do this. But when you start talking about a national ban, oh, that's unconstitutional. It shouldn't be happening. Why? Look, it's not unconstitutional for the Congress to pass a law. If Congress passes and it goes to the Senate, and if it goes to Donald Trump, that Donald Trump already said he ain't going to sign it. It would need to be vetoed. Well, it would need to be override with a veto from the veto power of the Congress. The president signs a veto, 2/3 of the Senate, 2/3 of House say, yes, we want to keep it. It overrides the president. That's the only way. Safeguards from our national leader, from our founding fathers. It's just funny how it's wrong to push a national ban, but it's good to push a national abortion bill that will force states to do something that they don't want to. I quoted this on the live stream show Saturday. California is suing a Catholic school, a Catholic hospital right now because they refuse to do abortions, and the state is forcing them to. You want that to be national law? Do you want Catholics and Christians and Protestants to go against their beliefs? The governor then promoted the lie that Georgia's abortion law led to the death of Amber Torman, a young woman who died because she was not treated at the hospital after she became sick following her decision to take an abortion bill. This is Walz's claim. To be clear, the Minnesota law is far beyond Roe v. Wade, Bream noted. And about Amber Torman case in Georgia, her family has said it was a complication from an abortion pill that she received, and she didn't get the proper care when she went to the Georgia hospital, which had multiple opportunities to intervene there. Her attorney, her family, this is Bream speaking. I said it was Walz's Bream. Her family attorney said it wasn't the Georgia law, it was hospitals. Bream continued. which he claimed is malfeasance, not treating her when she clearly showed up in distress and still had the byproducts of her pregnancy because of that rare complication from the abortion bill. Bream then confronted Walz over his decision to remove language from the law that protected babies when they were born alive after the abortion. Language that used to be part of the statute was taken out, she noted. It used to require medical personnel to, quote, preserve the life and health of the born alive infant. The language has been replaced. It's no longer part of the law. Also struck from the law was language. Also repealed reporting infants that are born alive with treatments that receive whether they live or die. Why is it important that you to get this protection out of the law? She asks Walz this. Again, this is why they don't want to go on Fox News or be held or have a Fox News debate, because Fox News is going to ask hard questions. Walz falsely claimed that the law aligns with every other case of which physicians are required by their ethical responsibilities. He then said that any questions about the extreme abortion view was a distraction from the real issues. Really? Which he said was pro-life laws that are protecting the unborn. This was one of many incidents in this interview. Walz also said in the interview that I don't think people care whether I lied repeatedly. Walz made the remarks on a Fox News Sunday interview with Shannon Bream. He was confronted over a number of lies he told that had been exposed since he became Vice President Kamala Harris's pick. He claimed that his lies were nothing more than his misstatements. So his misstatements, not his lies, his misstatements. When asked on the question about all the lies, the 1995 DUI arrest, using IVF to have beautiful children, Hong Kong and China in the summer of 1983, and the Tinama event. Bream said a lot of people would say that they couldn't get away with saying, I'm just too passionate, my grammar is not right, I'm a knucklehead. Bream continued, what do you say to the American people who think, I don't know that I could trust this guy who all of these malfunctions to be the potential commander-in-chief? Listen to Walz's response, and I watched the video. He went around the question. He's saying that he believes people heard him speaking passionately about the issues when he made false claims. I don't think people care whether I use IUI or IVF. He continued before lying again when he falsely claimed that President Donald Trump opposes IVF and other similar treatments. He claimed that he was very proud of his record and that he has never disarranged someone else, even though he has repeatedly lied about Trump on the campaign trail. He claimed that he would own up to his own mistakes. Bream responds, and if you're going to deal in truth, both the president, the former president, and his nominee have said they are very supportive of IVF. He didn't correct himself. He lied. Also, Walz defended giving illegal aliens free college, free health care, driver's license. This was all in the Fox News interview, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Walz made these remarks. Bream said that it was important to talk about his record since it escalated for people how he may serve, since he would only be heartbeat away from serving as president if Vice President Harris wins the election this fall. You signed into a law in evictions. He signed into law allowing immigrants into the country illegally to apply for driver's license, qualify for free tuition at state universities, and enroll in state free health care programs for lower income residents, Bream said. When asked if taxpayers should have to pay for these unpopular programs, Walz claimed without evidence that Harris does not support the interventions, even though since she excuse me, catch my train of thought. Come back here, sucker. Even though she supports for them just a few days ago, indicated she supported for them a few days ago. Walz then defended the radical program, saying that his states rank as top business states where people have health care across. He also claimed that his state had some of the safest roads in the county. Walz then claimed that Harris was the strongest candidate when it came to securing the southern border a issue that she was put in charge and failed miserably to archive as well over 10 million illegal alien crossings that came into the United States. Why am I bringing this all out? Well, first off, Fox News did something right. And Shannon Bream, good job. Good job. Shannon, good job. I probably couldn't do it better myself. But to put him to show lights on Walz, he lied repeatedly in that interview. And again, this is why they don't like going on Fox. Fox, yes, is fair and balanced in a lot of things. Other things, but they ask you the questions and they push back on your lies. This is why, I'm surprised when I saw Walz went on Fox News. But listen to everything he said. This is the most radical stuff, especially on abortion. Oh, we don't believe that a pregnancy can go full term. And even the announcer, remember, on Harris and Trump's debate, there's no state that would allow that. Well, California, now we know Minnesota, and this is all in Tim Walz. Lying and telling the reporter, hey, basically, I don't think people care if I lie. Now, there's some that don't. Some Democrats will not care if Walz lies as long as Tim and Harris gets into the White House. But we need to worry about the lies. We need to worry about his lies. We need to worry about what they stand for because at the end of the day, this impacts the country. Again, the only credit I can give him, at least he went on Fox News. Harris has not done an interview. And she done an interview, correction, she has done interviews, but they have been very scripted. She knows the answers in advance, or the questions in advance, so she can prepare for them. She won't go on Fox News. She won't hold a press conference. Credit to Biden. Look, I went ahead and criticized everything he said in it, but at least he went in front of the press corps and was right on a few things. Harris will not stand in front of a news crew that with unscripted answers. She can't answer those questions. Tim Walz at least went, but he did worse on this interview than he did in the debate, and that was friendly moderators. But we see that they don't. He said, I don't think people care if I lie. So he don't care if he lies because he knows people are going to still vote for him. He's extreme on abortion. He's extreme in trying to say that Harris is strong on the border when allowing 10 million people. Remember, she is the border czar. We should always push that home. She was in control of that. And she failed miserably. Tim Walz showed his true colors. And look, good job to Fox News for pushing back. And look, even the Fox News host, Shannon Bream, I think I'm saying her name right. Bream, B-R-E-A-M. I hope I'm saying that right. She went ahead and she pushed back. She did a good job. But we need to go ahead and continue to keep pushing. Like she said, I wish I had an hour. If she wished she had an hour with this guy, we cannot let these two idiots get into the White House. She thought Biden and Harris was bad. Imagine Harris and Walz. It'll be worse. And earlier with my neck turning red and my face turning red and me raising my voice. This is why foreign entities that are not our friends want Harris to win. Ukraine will get more money. Lebanon and Iran would go ahead and have more access to take out Israel. And Russia will be able to do whatever they want. It is sad, folks, that we live in a time like this where you have Dumb and Dumber running for president of the United States. I'm not trying to disrespect the vice president or the governor of the great state of Minnesota, but this weekend they have done some stupid stuff. I know all you parents were like, oh, he said stupid. That's not a nice word. I have to call it like it is. They're stupid. Let's hope Trump and Vance gets into the White House, and we need to make sure of that. We need to make sure of that. With that being said, that will wrap up this episode. Want to say hey to our good friends. Give a good shout out to a few people. William Wallace from William Wallace in America. Go check out his show. Host us this weekend at the MAGA event. Was a great master of ceremony, and he did a good job. He does a good job on the show. Go check it out. Go check out Two Mics Live tonight. at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. I know Mike, Dr. Michael, you're probably, why did he do that, him and Jeff? But we have to clarify. We're all in different time zones. We all have a different audience. That's my explanation. Go check out 2 Mics Live. Also, Dr. Michael's Horse Show every morning at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. Also, go ahead and check out the Scott Forrest Show. Waiting on you, Scott. Put out another video. I can't wait. And Jeff Hayhorn. I never met him. Never talked to him. Just on chat. But guess what? I'm promoting him anyway. Also, go check out Culper's Canty Cup. Good friends of mine. For YouTube and Rumble purposes, no one has paid me for these spots. I'm just being a good host and a good friend to my fellow podcasters. All right. With that being said, if you go check out all them shows and hit like and subscribe on them, you should hit like and subscribe to this show. If you want to keep if you want to be informed about what everything's going on or stories that I feel passionate about, you can go ahead and listen to this show. Hit the like, hit the follow button. Love you guys. Be blessed. Be encouraged. Remember, Jesus Christ is King, and He's coming back, and He's coming back soon. So don't be faint of heart, because Jesus has overcome the world. Remember, whatever happened on election day, Jesus Christ is King. He will never be dethroned, and the sun's going to rise up, and we need to pray for His protection, His mercy. Love you. Be blessed. Be encouraged. We will see you next time here on the Isaac Hayes Show. Be blessed.